Greeting, my friends. My name is Sofa. Do I look like a sign painter to you? I am a scribe. Do any of you even know what a scribe is? A scribe is an elite scholar among the Jews. Do you know what it takes to become a scribe? We have to memorize the books of Moses. That's 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. 5 books, word for word. We scribes are entrusted with the very words of God. So naturally, when a messenger came requesting my presence at the governor's palace, I assumed that Governor Pilate wanted me to expound from my great knowledge of the scriptures. But did he ask me to expound from my great knowledge of the scriptures? No. He asked me how many languages I can read and write. Well, being a Bible scholar, I told him I knew all 5 languages that all scribes know, plus 2 languages that most scribes don't know. I was right in the middle of listing my fluent languages when the governor rudely interrupted me, and he said, "Good, you'll do." I'll do what? "You'll paint the sign," he demanded. "Paint the sign?" I said. Well, I was right in the middle of telling this poor, uninformed Roman bureaucrat that I am not a common sign painter when he stopped me right in mid-sentence. And he reminded me of the Roman 1-mile law. The 1-mile law was instituted by Caesar a few years ago. It says all non-citizens of Rome, that's just about everybody within 300 miles of the Mediterranean Sea, were required by law to carry the equipment of any Roman soldier who demands it up to 1 mile. Well, what that law boils down to is any Roman citizen can demand that just about any Jewish person must do just about anything they want, and we can't say or do anything about it at all. I was right in the middle of a well-organized discourse on how that law couldn't possibly apply to us scribes when Governor Pilate pointed his bony little finger at me and shouted, "Guards, flog this man!" All right, I'll paint your silly sign," I said. "You don't have to get huffy." "I thought you'd see it my way," he said. "What's the sign for?" I asked. "Roman law requires that when we execute a prisoner, we have to post a sign in 3 different languages telling the public what crimes he committed. You're not going to crucify anyone today, are you?" "Yes." "Why?" he said. I told him everyone knows that tomorrow is a special Sabbath. "What do I care about your silly Sabbaths?" he said. I explained a crucifixion takes 3 days to kill the prisoner. You can't possibly keep a Jew hanging for 3 days over the Sabbath. "Don't blame me," Pilate retorted. "It was the Jews who demanded Jesus be put to death immediately." "Oh, this is the first I've heard of this." Jesus was not my favorite person after all. He insulted virtually every scribe in Israel. But I wasn't even aware that he had a trial. "They had the trials last night," Pilate said. "Last night? It's illegal for the Jews to hold a trial at night," I said. "A man can't get a fair trial at night." "Tell that to the Sanhedrin," Pilate snarled. "It was your own people who convicted him," Pilate said. Well, Jesus is a jerk. I'm sure he had it coming, I suppose. All right, so what do you want the sign to say? What crimes was Jesus convicted of? The sign will read, "King of the Jews." Pilate demanded, "That's it, King of the Jews? I thought you said the sign had to list the prisoner's crimes." Pilate just smiled, and he said, they didn't have any evidence against him. They just wanted him dead. Well, I wanted him dead too, but surely they could find something to convict him of. Pilate said no. They couldn't get any two witnesses to agree on anything. The man is innocent. I flogged him 39 times with a cat of 9 tails, and I couldn't get him to confess of anything. But you're going to kill him anyway, I said. I couldn't talk them out of it, he said. Your friends in the Sanhedrin almost started a riot. I had to choose between the lesser of two evils. So go ahead and write the sign, Pilate said. But I protested. Can't the sign at least say that Jesus claimed to be the King of Jews? Then Pilate pointed his bony little finger at me again, and he said, I'm not going to have any trouble from you, am I? No, I said. So I wrote the sign in big letters in Latin, Greek, and Aramaic. Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews.